back to the list, be like, yeah, that needs to be covered, or vice versa. But this one, I wanted to hurry up and make it while it was fresh in my head. And it's pretty much about training on dedicated accounts. And put it simply, don't do it. You shouldn't train on dedicated accounts. Now, why is that though? Why? Like, I trained on dedicated, and it hurt me. Your first 6 months, at least, your first 6 months, are your most crucial and important months when you're brand new. When you're brand new, you're still learning. You're learning the field. You're learning the trade. You're learning everything about trucking. Those first 6 months are by far your most important months, because it's also where most of your mistakes are going to be made. The first 3 months is where most rookies get themselves into trouble, meaning they hit something. Usually the first 3 months. And your first month is by far, especially your first solo month, is by far the hardest one. So okay, let's break this down. Why training dedicated is bad? Well, for one, most dedicated accounts, obviously there's a couple exceptions. Most training dedicated accounts, you're going to have a ton of room. You're pretty much going from a DC, so a distribution center, so a lot of room to back and set up. It's kind of hard to fuck it up. You know, you got a lot of room to work with. To stores, like let's do Costco DC to Costco stores in a town. They're going to have a shit ton of room. They're going to. My Garmin thing just went off clear. But they're gonna have a lot of room, but why? That's exactly why I said it's bad to train on dedicated. It's not really like it's not gonna like hurt you, but you're definitely gonna have to learn a lot more stuff when you're solo that you're gonna wish you had help with and understand it better and get more consistent with. When you're not out on your own, you don't have a pair of helping hands or extra eyes when you really need it. Holy fuck, California, if you're big old dips in the road. That's what got me. I ran into issues, like, okay, when I was training dedicated, I had no issues. I picked things up pretty quickly. Like I said, it's hard to fuck up. There was this one store, though, where you pretty much, you had to set up in a parking lot, and granted, it's overnight, so you don't have to work back around cars. But for my first week and a half, though, they were parking in front of the dock, so that was interesting. But then I guess the manager started telling everybody, stop parking in front of the docks. If you're going to do that, park way in the back. Because they made it a little bit harder on trucks. Because you would have to go about 7 to 9 deep in those parking spots. And sometimes you would have to back around cars, and that was, not fun. But there was that same lot, though. You had a blind side around those little tree decorations they put at the end of the rows, those little curb things, and those weren't very fun. But that was the only real hard, one that slowed me down. The rest of them was okay, you set up for a 90, and then that's pretty easy when you have a giant bowl to work with. And but most out of the 4 I went to, two were 45s. One was not quite a 45, but it wasn't a straight line. It was kind of in between, but you had to back around. You put your trailer around that curb, that potting curb. Like I said, that had all these trees and shrubs in them. That was the hardest part about it, is getting your trailer around that, because you're going to be blind at some point. It's there. It's on your driver's side, but backing around it makes it a blind side at some point. So you're going to lose sight of that for a little bit, 15 feet. And the 90 was easy. The 90 only became an issue because how it was set up, if trucks parked up in that bowl lined up, it took a lot of room away from you. But other than that, it was in and out within there were quick backs because you had a lot of room, and you did it every day. So every day doing the same damn thing, it puts you in a routine, and you get really consistent really quickly. You get really efficient at it. Obviously you're going to have off days, but that's exactly why you should not train on dedicated. Because it doesn't teach you about different setups. It doesn't teach you how to back in cramped areas. Most of them won't. you how do you you know, when you look at the Google Maps, because there's no building standard, there's no city standard, so how do you spot where your trucks are going to go? Because the place could have multiple truck entrances. They could have multiple lots. You could have a guard shack. You know how to spot these things. You got to know what you're looking for. Your trainer kind of gives you, will teach you how to like look at a place and kind of spot pretty much the entrance. Even if it's covered, you just got to look for certain things. Covered meaning it's covered by trees or whatever. They're satellite views. It doesn't teach you how to like, well, some of these dedicated counts, you'll have to like go up and down mountains, like Salt Lake to Denver. You're gonna chain up and go down mountains. But it doesn't teach you how to reroute yourself if you need to. Because like Salt Lake to Denver, that's easy. I-70 is closed, you know, you can go 80. If 80 is closed, you go 70. If both are closed, well, you're shut down. But like, it doesn't teach you like, hey, how can I reroute around like road closure, even at the cost of 2 to 3 hours, or at least bring it up to the company and be like, hey, I can do this if you want me to. Because again, if they're company drivers, they're paying for the fuel. You don't need approval. Oh yeah, I forgot about this road. When you're climbing into fucking Arizona, shut up, lane departure. Trying to get off this fucking damage. It's sitting on the paint, but the lane departure's like, oh no, you're sitting on the paint. It's like, yeah, but the road is fucking rough. Now when I said it got me into trouble, yeah, what happened? Like I got stuck in mud. I didn't have to deal with mud. I've never had to deal with mud in a truck, so I didn't know what the fuck to do. And oh my god, dude, this fucking road. Like I'm gonna go sit on the paint all the way, because that's horrible, dude. That paint right there. I don't know if the road damage. Oh hey, I'm bypassing though. Shut up, cat. But yeah, I got stuck in mud. It was the middle of winter. Oh, it was February, but in a Rocky Mountain state, Wyoming. And the road closed behind me just as I get on the interstate. I was like, shit, there's no parking at 2 o'clock in the morning. See, I'm on dedicate when I got stuck in the mud. I do know now, but no, like I got off on this off ramp. I saw this dirt shoulder. It's the middle of Wyoming. Okay, I'm from Wyoming. February, the ground should be fucking frozen solid hard. Just like, God, like even excavators have an issue like digging into it. But like, half of it was frozen. I could tell by looking at it. I happened to pick the one half that wasn't frozen. Cause yeah, when I was stuck, I got out. I walked over where I thought was frozen. That thing, yeah, was solid as hell. I wasn't moving in, thinking nothing. I just picked the one half that was soft and soupy, and it also had a little bit of layer of snow on the ground, so that probably didn't help. It wasn't like it was literally just a dusting of snow. So that's probably what caused it, you know, to not become thawed out. Is that it probably rained. Oh my god, this guy's fucking hauling ass. His headlights aren't aimed up. But so no, like well, this guy fucking hurt past me, so I could. Jesus Christ, Volvo, can you go any slower after you fucking want to haul ass on me? Volvo was in such a fucking hurry, and then he decided to slow down, and then like, yeah, so I lost all momentum. Now I gotta pass this guy, build my speed back up. I would have started braking if that Volvo maintained its speed it was going at, but he slowed down when I guess he was getting to the bottom of that hill. But I have one preventable on me, but that was my very first month solo. Again, I had to learn 2 important lessons my very first month, and these were about 2 to 3 weeks in. It was a cramped area. There was no fucking light poles and nothing. It was a dirt lot, a lot of potholes. Some of those fucking were huge, where they actually tilted the tractor. That's what got me. Was the one that got tilted the tractor when I was backing into a hole. Like the top of the trailer got me. Yeah, not the trailer, like not the side of the trailer, the top corner of the trailer got me. Like, cause I backed into one of those fucking deep ass potholes that I guess was underneath my truck. I didn't see it until like I backed into it. And I was like, oh shit, too late. It didn't do a lot of damage. It just kind of like popped. Nothing came off the truck. I got moved from I trained in dedicated, then I did dedicated for 2 months, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Just because I'm from Wyoming doesn't mean I want to go solid to Denver every fucking day. Especially deal with I-80 or I-70 with the people that drive on and how they drive. It's just not. I don't want to gamble my life like that every fucking day. I'm not a big risk taker. So I don't want to drive in an area. Yeah, sure, driving a truck is dangerous, period. But that just adds extra risk that I don't need to throw on to. But it's so. I said, yeah, I fucked up. I took full blame. I said I fucked up, and it won't happen again. After that second one, those were back to back. Getting stuck in the mud. That wasn't the one that really got me a little bit of the tisk thing. It was the catching myself with a trailer. That's what got the extra talk, the extra special talk from my DM. But I took full responsibility, but I was like, I wish I didn't train dedicated, because this probably would never happen if I didn't train dedicated. So I don't drive like an idiot. I don't back like an idiot. I'm extra slow. And when I caught my trailer, I had actually gotten out like five times. I mean, you couldn't see shit. You couldn't see anything. So I was walking myself in. I factored everything else in. But everybody tells you, look down the side of your trailer. They never tell you to also worry about the flexing. So when it goes like bows up and down. So worry about the top corners of your trailer too. I was never told that. It was pounding in my head. Worry about the side, your side, like clearance. You mind, Cat? So these things you'll learn if you're not really doing it dedicated. Because like I said, dedicated, you're gonna be from DC to in town somewhere, and in town you're not gonna have these dirt lots. You're not gonna have unkept, parking lots. They're gonna be taken care of because they also have cars that go in and out, and the city's gonna force them to keep their lot generally, pretty good in condition. So overall, did I learn from those? Yeah, like you should always be learning as a trucker. You should always be learning. You should always strive to be a better guy, better driver. And I'm not saying go for perfection. Go for efficiency, consistency. There is still situations I have now where I still wish I trained, OTR. Instead of having, because I was only with my trainer for 4 weeks. But I did pretty much 2 backs a day, because it was dropping it was like dropping up to one side and a live unload that took like an hour. That's what the hell me. A live unload in like less than an hour, 40 minutes to an hour. So that's pretty much the moral of this, or the I don't know why I said moral of the story, but whatever. The moral of the story is, oh hello Copper, is pretty much do not train dedicated, even if the miles are really great. Like I was getting when I was training on that Costco, it was 3,000 miles a week, and when you're a brand new driver, that's like about $1,200 $1,200 a fucking week at that time. I was attracted to the money, and when I was doing a paper for the DM too. I wasn't planning on staying dedicated for that long, but some of these dedicated accounts will give you pretty good miles, and it's not really worth. Maybe after you have 6 months to a year, get your real experience first, then go to dedicated. Don't hamper your skill forming. Don't hurt yourself. Because let's say you did the dedicated for 1 to 2 years, 3 years, and you got really good at backing, really good at really consistent, really efficient. You're gonna go to some yards. You're like, how do I set up in this? How do I do this? Like some of these areas I've gone to, where there's docks on both sides, and the overall width that you gotta back into from dock door to 160 feet, 150 feet. So that's not a lot of room. You know, shut up, cat. So like when I'm in the dock, you know, trailer bumped to the dock, and I'm lined up, I'm, you know, still hooked into my trailer, because obviously this is going to be when you drop the trailer. But there's only 10 to 15 feet in front of me. That's not a lot of room. You don't got a lot of room for error there. Especially if your setup isn't good. If your setup's not good, you take away less room. Or you take away the room that's already pretty critical that you wish you had. And a lot of these rookie mistakes I see that happen is it's just dumb stuff that, you know, could easily be avoidable. That happens. Like I said, I did dumb shit already. Yeah, I need to get a windshield mount for this camera. That thing is just bouncing up and down. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. He did not like the big bumps. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate all you guys that watch.